Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey everyone.
Hey guys.
Hey everyone.
We're just 1 week away from an opportunity to come together
in an effort to bring our community closer together in this difficult time.
We're gonna shake up people's homes to get them moving and bring them together.
The time is now.
Together, let's make a difference.
I'm united in movement.
Question I have is,
are you? Let's get to it.
Hold out there so you can kind of see that.
Ground, right leg forward.
Yeah! This event in particular, we have a moment here now.
It's a massive opportunity for us to come together.
Let's let the world hear us.
If we can get people to move, we can inspire some people, no matter where they are in the world, to have a little bit of a better day and learn how to get through this time.
Try to find ways to get involved and give back.
Allow us to step out of times of stress.
We really want to do something good, and we need your help to do it.
Hello and welcome, my friends. You're watching the finale of the United in Movement competition. I'm your host, Rory McKernan. Niki Brazier will be joining me shortly, as will many other special guests. We're here to cap off an incredible week of fitness, some fun, lots of community action. And remember, United in Movement was born to bring the global community together in this difficult time of isolation and uncertainty. A couple hundred of you guys already watching. I see Roger Nillson from Norway. We're going to catch up with him actually in a few minutes. Eric Green says our box did all of these via Zoom this week. So fun. John Trombley, the dumbbell thruster burpees got me good. Amen, my friend. They got me as well. Ultimately, we all came together seeking to raise funds, relief, and support for those affected by this pandemic. I think we hit all of those marks and then some. We're going to tell you all about it, but we're bringing along some special guests to help us do that. First, two of your very favorite daughters are joining me now. I'm going to bring in Annie Thorisdottir and Katrin Davidsdottir to join us and talk about some of the fun that they had with the UiM. And Annie and Katrin, welcome to the show, my friends. Fit Press says, why didn't more athletes log the workouts? Well, maybe we can get that answer from the daughters here. Athletes. Oh, interesting. Rod asks, how people are changing their diets during this time. As Annie and Katrin coming on in, looks like they haven't started the video yet. Oh, there she is. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
Wow, that is a fancy looking room you're walking through. We've got animals all over the place.
Yes, those are not mine.
I wouldn't judge you if they were, man. It looked really fun. How are you, first of all? I haven't had a chance to catch up with you. Hey, there's Kat too.
Katrin. Yay, Annie. Hi. Hi.
So we got Kat joining us from New England. Annie's joining from Iceland. And both of you guys have been really active, not just for United in Movement, but this whole time. So Annie, I'll start with you. I've been seeing you through snow and sunshine. You've been spending a lot of time outside, but
yes, tons
of positivity coming from you. And I would love to hear, how have you been kind of spending your time staying busy?
Well, actually, I feel like I've been really busy during this time because I'm pregnant and don't feel like I'm going to have as much time as usually focused on my training. I am still training 2 times a day though. But obviously it's not as much intensity and effort maybe going into that. But with all of this going on, I've been creating way more content to try to give people like some way for me to be able to share and be a part of the community is by sharing workouts that I am doing or sharing good workouts to do at home and trying to keep people motivated and happy and like engaged, because it's so hard to just get stuck in what you're doing and not being able to leave the house, and it can be depressing, but I feel like exercising is like the cure to everything, like a lot of us do. So we've been really busy just trying to create as much content as I possibly can to try to help people out and let them kind of exercise with me. And that's that is the cool thing about CrossFit, is that you have this like crazy online community. And this is just a different way for all of us to kind of spend that time together. So I've been doing things for the training plan, doing things for my gym. I'm leading live classes for my gym on regular basis, and then creating content for like United in Movement and CrossFit, and just like anywhere I can try to spread it on YouTube, my social media, give people inspiration for workouts. Like, yeah, that is keeping me really busy, and I love that it's keeping me busy because I have other things to think about.
Totally. And Kat, much the same way. You know, it was a similar a recent post where you said you've been actively looking for opportunities where you can kind of stay positive, and you found some for your own for yourself. So I'd love to hear kind of what you've learned about what you needed to work on and how you've tried to use that to inspire other people to do the same.
Yeah, I feel like I've been through like a couple phases through this whole thing. Like anyone else, you start off being like, yeah, I'm going to be super positive. And you're like, okay, when is this going to end? This starts getting really hard. So you keep trying to like changing that up a little bit, but right from
almost
the
like
get-go,
stages of grief, you know?
Yeah, I think it's exactly that. But it started off being like, okay, like I want to learn something. I want to learn something new. And I started a nutrition course 2 years ago that I never finished, or like never had the time to do. And for these past like month, I actually dug in, and not that I want to be a nutrition coach, I just am interested and want to learn and for myself. And I finished that course. And something that has, like, Annie's gonna laugh right now because she's tried to talk to me about this so many times. But like my finances, they stress me out so much. And it's not that like I need to be stressed, it's that I don't know how they work. So I'm starting to read finance books. So I've had this extra time that I want to learn. And then with training, at the start, I was like, all right, just keep moving, just keep on working out every day. And yeah, that makes me so much happier. And I love sweating every day. At the end of the day, one of my strengths is that I know how to be in shape. I love doing cardio and love doing fitness. So I started being like, all right, what can I work on? Like, how can I come out of this and be better at something? Because with everything, with extremes like this, it's tough times, but I always feel like with extremes, it goes to both ends. So there can't be an extreme positive to this also. And it's like, where can I find that? And my weakest link is my core. And I think that is why I had a herniated disc. And I think that is why I struggle with my OA lifts and my ultimate. Those are the ones that I finished in the bottom 10 at the games. And I can't have that happening. So when I have my jerk blocks at home and my barbell and some plates, this is no excuse. So I'm getting back to heavier weights, but if I can't do heavy weights that day, I do technique work, and I can work on speed, and I can work on skill in my core and get stronger. So I think everyone can kind of look in and you know, find something that they can work on, or you know, that they never had the time to, and now they have that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Annie, how about like
I struggle with AirPods. Anyone else? They like don't stick in. If I smell
the last time we spoke, you're hating on AirPods as well. We gotta get you a radical headphone sponsor out of this.
Not Apple. No, thank you.
Annie, as an affiliate owner, I'm sure there's a lot of people have reached out because CrossFit Reykjavik is, you know, top tier across the board and longstanding affiliate. How many people, or what are people coming to you and reaching out and asking? And I liked particularly what you said on Instagram not long ago, where you said, you know, focus on the opportunities that this has brought you instead of the negatives. I know you already listed some of the things you're doing like online and whatnot, but I'd love to hear like kind of what advice you're giving to folks who come to you in that capacity.
Well, it obviously depends on what situation people are in and where they're at. We were super lucky with the gym here that we were able to, obviously, like you said, like CrossFit Reykjavik, we have a lot of members. We have 1,500 members, and we want to try to make sure that like that's a big group of people that we can affect and keep active. We have kids, we have elderly, and obviously a lot of just the normal people that are in there. And we have made sure to be as engaged as we possibly can, because like I said, like you have this, CrossFit is this community, and yes, we love meeting up in the gym, and that's what I miss the most, is meeting up with everyone at the gym. But having people tune in, doing things together, comment, and we had outside classes for quite a while. We were allowed to do that. So that was a big thing that we were able to do with people, keeping them engaged. And man, Icelandic people are crazy. Like there was a snowstorm and still so many people just show up at the beach in Iceland and just go nuts. It's like people want to stay engaged, they want to exercise, and they, like all of us in the CrossFit community, like we're used to having that stimulus and getting that endorphin, and we miss that feeling, we don't get it. So that's what we're trying to bring people. We've borrowed out all our kettlebells, all our dumbbells, and we had a lot of them, all our bumpers, pretty much everything that we could let people borrow, we let them borrow. We had like 25 rowers, 25 assault bikes, and C2 bikes. Like we let people borrow all of those. And then we're making up home workouts and we're doing them live, and we're trying to be as, like, honestly, as engaged as we can. And we keep the kids classes separate. We still have the elderly people classes separate. And those, I have to say, those are like the most interactive ones. Like the elderly, they're the ones that comment the most, and they like having the interaction and talking to people. So I do feel like you're able to keep that community feel. And then what I've been doing a lot, like most of the amount of requests I've been getting is trying to join other people's gyms all over the world on the Zoom classes or classes that they're doing. Unfortunately, I have only X many hours and X many classes I can join in on. But I've been trying to just shoot messages to different gyms and making sure that people remember, like, you're in this together and stick through this. You can still, I think what people also need to remember is that, like what Katrin said, try to look at this as an opportunity for you to work on something specific. Like if you want to work on your handstand, there's so many things that you can do, not just to like stay in shape or try to keep yourself in the same place as you were before. You can actually try to look at this as a chance to improve on something. Do that skill like 3-4 times a week, because now you might actually have the time to do so. Skills and things to do. So it's, I don't know, trying to give like that message to people that the gym is still gonna be there when they get out of this. You're still gonna have that gym and that support as long as you guys stay together through it now. It's gonna become the same later. So it's, yeah, just trying to spread that message. This is only temporary. I know, like Katrin said, all of us are going through this like different stages. Me and Katrin have gone through those together as well, been talking through that. But it is just temporary, and like trying to use this support. Like I can imagine if you don't have this, we at least have CrossFit. We have this thing that we share with so many other people in the world. And that's why I think United in Movement is so cool, because it keeps you preoccupied. It gives you a workout that you're going to do every single day, and you get to do with the rest, not just of the people in the gym, but like the rest of the world. And sorry, it just gets me like excited. I'm like, we at least have this tool that we have together.
Yes, I love it.
Which I think is incredible.
And Kat, it's funny. I'll pivot off of what Annie said about there will be an end to this, obviously. But today you posted big old smile ear to ear and said, I'm getting used to this garage gym life. I mean, are you missing the affiliate, or is this your new normal? You think you'll train? Do you think it will change the way that you train moving forward?
I actually think I might start doing more stuff at home. Like it has been, like, it's been, like I say, I've been through stages of this. And at the start, I think everyone's in kind of like a shock of like, oh my gosh, like, is this the new norm? Like, how am I going to do this? And the number one thing that I've been hearing from, you know, my mom, other competitors, from messages that I'm getting is that I don't know how to keep my fire. And I think everyone went through that, where like the situation in the world seems like it's so much bigger and greater than pushing an extra 1% in training or giving it everything that you have, and you kind of end up like going through the motions. And to be completely honest, I would rather people go through the motions than not do them at all. Right. But for someone, like, if you want to train hard and keep going hard, and that's something that people do enjoy, they like the personal interaction, they like that competitive spirit of going as hard as they can. That's something that I too had to, like, you know, I gave myself, you know, whether it was a week or a couple of days of like, okay, just like keep moving, keep doing what you can do. And now I'm back to like, all right, like this is my new norm for now. Just like Andy said, like this too shall pass. But for right now, like this is it. And my days have changed a little bit. But honestly, it's been good. Like, I feel super lucky that I have the Bergeron family. I'm not so isolated. We're a big family, so I have them. If if we're at the gym right now, you're completely isolated, and now we have this little garage gym, so it's kind of like if I walk in through that door, they're all there, and we have slow mornings. I read in the morning over my coffee, and then I come in the garage and I do some sort of intervals, whether that's my bike or I go out for a run if it's warmed up. I have my lunch, I take a little break, and then I'm back here. And I never worked out at home, and I meant it today when I said, like, I think I'm getting used to this because I'm able to bring the fire again. This feels like I'm training again. Like, I was just talking to Ben before this interview. I'm like, good day. Like, it feels like I feel like I'm back, and I feel like I can push hard again. So I think it's definitely something we all have to get used to. But for now, I'm starting to love it.
Oh, that's great. I love to hear that. It's fun to watch. And unfortunately, like we don't have that much time together. So I'll end with this one. And Kat, since we're just talking to you, I'll ask you guys both the same question. We'll start with Katrin and then finish with Annie. A movement like this, or, there's multiple fundraisers going on to kind of bring the community together to have a positive impact on people who are affected. Why is it important to you, and how much impact do you think it can really make?
Oh, wow. Before United in Movement started, before any of this started, before the coronavirus, me and Annie have been talking a lot about our brand, Daughter, and we want that to stand for, it was women, essentially women supporting other women, but it's essentially people supporting other people and not seeing each other as a threat, but how together we are so much stronger. Together we can do more meaningful things, more impactful things. Together, like, Annie shows me what's possible. Annie brings me to a higher level. So if she is succeeding, I'm not upset, I'm not envy, I'm not jealous. I am happy for her, and she motivates me as hell to go chase that too. So this is just an extreme version of that. We're going through extreme times. This isn't normal times. And it is really cool to see in these times of isolation and these hard times. And this is probably the craziest and hardest times, I'm sure, and I surely pray and hope that this is the hardest times that us in our generation are ever going to go through, and we are, I know this is horrible, but at the same time, it's really cool that we are all going through this together. This is adversity, this is hardship, these are obstacles that we're all going through, and we all come together to get through this. So it's actually to see countries come together, to see this community come together in this time of isolation has been, it's been incredible.
I love it. And it is true. Yeah. You in New England going through the same thing that Annie's going through in Iceland, and people in Australia, China, doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
You're feeling it. So, Annie, I'll finish with this with you as well, is why is it important, and what impact can we actually make?
I feel like pretty much, Katrin, you had a great answer. We're very much in the same page when it comes to this. And I feel like this is, in the beginning, I think there was a lot of thinking like me, like take care of me, by everything that I need and my family needs. But then people start thinking a little bit outside of that. And that is what I love seeing right now, is countries supporting other countries. I like that everyone is trying to work together to find a solution on this and to make sure that we're gonna make it out of this okay. And that is something unique. It isn't very often where we see the whole world standing together. And this is where that can happen. And hopefully through all of this, at the end of all of this, it's going to continue. That it's gonna be one world, and it matters what we do, and it affects other countries, how we behave. Not just like the tiny community you're in, but globally. So that's the positive that I think that we can bring out of this. And I love, obviously you follow all the news and everything that's going on, but I love feeling that in maybe some way we can try to positively affect other people and other gyms and others around us. Just anything. We've very often said it, both me and Katrin, like if we can affect one person in a positive way, we're doing something right. Like then it's worth doing. And with this, we're like a bunch of people that are getting to do it together. So I feel like that's something that this is bringing out in all of us. And that's what something like United in Movement and other fundraisers, like, you feel so helpless. I feel so helpless because I want to do more. Like, I want to help more people. I don't know what to do. And through something like this, you feel like you can actually try to make a difference. So that's something that I feel like this brings.
Yeah. When we are all stronger together, and you guys are both.
I could have. I just have to say one thing that Amy said. Sorry, like we are one. Like this world. Like I feel like we are so used to grouping ourselves down. Like we are CrossFitters. Like we're Icelanders. Like whatever it is. Like I'm female, but we are one. Like every single human on this planet is going through this together. And this truly, honestly, is bringing us all together. And when this is all said and done, I think we'll have everyone in this world will have a greater perspective. Like we truly are one. Yeah,
you're both such great ambassadors for that, not just for sports, but just for being amazing people. So I thank you for being uniquely, you send that message really well. You do it very genuinely, and I love that about you both. And I feel lucky to have caught up with you. I feel like I could talk to you all day, but unfortunately I have to let you go. But thank you guys for your involvement. Hugs through this digital kind of weird world that we're in. And I can't wait to give you real ones.
It was so good to catch up, Rory.
And I'm very excited about the daughter brand. I can't wait to see where you guys go with that. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
Fun
you.
tonight.
Okay, guys. See you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, friends. Let me navigate through here, the digital world here. All right. So the daughters, what more could you ask for? Well, we could ask for 2 current champions, and I'm going to bring in, as we speak, Matt Fraser and Clair Toomey, who have been hugely active throughout the entire United in Movement effort. And they're joining us now. Looks like via, I got to get Tia separately as well. So Matt Fraser, Clair Toomey, they were our first workout announcement. They are now joining us from their respective homes, I suppose. There's the man himself. Look at you. You picked out your best piece of plywood to put behind you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it suited the occasion.
All right, it looks like we're still. Yep. We had a miss with Tia, but I got you. I want to know what you've been doing, man. Apparently, you drove around. You took a road trip. What happened?
Yeah, man. We actually just got back like a couple hours ago. Sammy, myself, Tia, and Shane. We actually just took a little getaway. Went to Kentucky to our friend's lodge where they do a lot of rock climbing. So we had a couple days off. We got to dabble in some rock climbing, and it was a lot of fun.
And so obviously Shane was there. So you had coach's watchful eye over you. Did it turn into a workout, or was it an actual kind of let your hair down and relax?
We kicked our feet up quite a bit. We only trained once or twice in the last week. It was just kind of get away from everything, and just relax. And we did a lot of relaxing. It was nice.
Good for you. T, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I was just getting caught up on your kind of road trip rock climbing experience.
Yeah. A new hobby of ours for sure.
Yeah, we got we got some harnesses ordered up, some climbing shoes, chalk bags. We had such a good time with it that we're definitely going to start incorporating it into the active recovery days.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a fun sport, and it's one of those ones that it can really kind of force you to get outside too, in a unique way that other things can't. It forces the lifestyle.
It was
unbelievable.
It was pretty eye-opening. I think we have decent grip strength, but pound for pound grip strength, it's a different story. So yeah, we had a little fun, and the guy that runs the lodge full time, he's a climbing enthusiast, I think, to say the least, and he was showing us a thing or two on the moon board. It was pretty impressive.
Right on. Well, hopefully that's going to show up somewhere, whether it's a TikTok or just Instagram. Like I want to see some footage, some proof. Here's something that I see a couple questions in the comments, and I wanted to follow up with you guys after last time. It's clear that you guys are now training partners, fantastic friends. Tell me kind of how that's evolved, because you guys, well, I guess you're in quarantine together effectively, right?
Basically, yeah.
We literally live together.
Pretty much, right?
Yeah. It's very awesome. You know, it's quite a unique situation that we're in, and I think that and I feel like I've been asked this quite a lot lately, and so it's just one of those things where I just keep reminiscing on, like, I can't believe how a relationship that I didn't expect to flourish so easily and quickly. Like I feel like I've known Matt and Semi my whole life, and it's crazy, and it's, you know, we're very, very lucky to be able to have this dynamic between the four of us, and you know, just there's so much laughter, and you know, even families, they start to get annoyed with each other and everything, you know, after some time, and we just cannot stop laughing. Like they're either paying me out, or, you know, we're paying each other out, and like we're laughing about it, and you know, we're just having a really, really great time, and we're also just so intrigued on, you know, the same things, which is, it's just so easy.
Yeah, I think the big thing is, you know, we all have the same goal. You know, we're all in the same stage of life. We all have the same goal. So for T and I, you know, that's our goal, is to win the games. That's what our daily focus revolves around. And then Sammy and Shane, even though they're both approaching it differently, their main goal is to help support T and I win the games. So,
yeah,
you know, Shane is there in the support role of, you know, coaching and guidance, and then Sammy's is, you know, almost like the nurturing mother side of things, you know, making sure we have food, make sure we have snacks, I'd say making sure our mental health, you know, make sure we stay sane and keeping us all in check. Of the amount of times I hear of, like, Matt, make sure you're nice to tee up, like, you need don't push it too far.
Yeah, we were giggling like school kids the other day, and she's like, "Kids, I'm on the phone."
Yeah, literally on the phone. The three of us are in the background, just all joking around, bouncing. And Sammy did the classic mom, like, put the phone on. I am on the phone. Sorry. And
it's enough out of you.
So even though, you know, we all have different roles in what we're doing, how we're approaching it, you know, we're all pointed in the same direction, and we're all committing everything to it. So it really does keep life simple in terms of, you know, how we approach it, the dynamic, you know, usually when a question gets asked or if an opportunity comes up, we already know each other's answer, because you can easily figure out, is this going to help us win the games, or is it going to take us away from the goal? So it's pretty easy to figure out.
That's beautiful. And what a fortuitous friendship, like, all around, you know, it sounds enriching 360 degrees, not just from a sporting effort. I would love to, I didn't know if Shane was around, but I would love to ask you guys first. I know that Shane had a big part in programming the United in Movement workouts that we actually did.
Yep.
So I want to know, like, Matt, you posted the other day, and it was really funny. You were like, yeah, I'm reading this novel that Shane Orr sent me for my daily training, you know, like, so you obviously know his training as well as he knows you as an athlete. You know, was some of this kind of very trademark Shane Orr stuff that people actually got to do for these workouts?
I mean, I don't want to keep going.
That's
Sure, Thea.
No, you go.
I don't.
Oh, you go.
I don't know if Shane has like a trademark style. You know, he's so good at not getting in a rut of one style of workout. You know, it's not always AMRAPs, it's not always EMOMs, it's not always for time. There's a good mix of everything. So you know, kind of looking at the past workouts, you know, it was a good mix of everything, especially considering the tools that were available, you know, assuming that people don't have like a a well-equipped home gym. So yeah, I think in the sense that it didn't have a common theme throughout the entire thing, I would say it was very Shane Orr.
Yeah. T, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one thing that Shane does really well is he's trying to think, trying to put himself into other people's situations, and everyone's different. Not everyone has equipment. And, you know, I think with the Loud and Live team and Ben, there was a lot of like, you know, all right, here's ideas. This is what I'm thinking. And, you know, going off like specific requirements that the Loud and Live team have actually requested. I just know that, you know, he tried, you know, to keep it entertaining and have that variety, like Matt said, which is definitely something that Shane does really well at it. I've never once been bored of one particular thing. You know, it might be a strength cycle, or it might be a specific gymnastics skill that we're working on. And yes, we may do it to improve like a number of times throughout a particular cycle, but there's never been one particular piece that I felt very bored at, because we're constantly doing. There's always variety, and it's always a different way of challenging yourself.
It turns out that it works pretty well on the competition floor too. So there's that. T, I'm going to stick with you for a sec. It seems as if, I know you got new stuff going on. You're doing the TikTok thing. You're having fun. But it seems like this last week, if I was just looking at your social media, you've gotten a little nostalgic. Like I saw the Commonwealth posts and stuff. Is it fair to say that you've been kind of looking back over the years during this time?
Yeah, I think that, you know, we're in a very strange time in our lives where our worlds have stopped and everyone is in a bit of a limbo right now. And I think that rather than, I'm just trying my very best to spread positive vibes in terms of, hey, let's not get each other down and you know, get caught up in maybe the things that aren't happening right now. And just try and focus on how great things have been and what we've done in the past, to just spread a little bit of light and kind of reminisce on really incredible memories. And that's something that I felt like this week, I really just wanted to kind of, I was looking through photos the other day and I was like, damn, remember that? That was so much fun. And oh, whoa, like I can't believe it's been 2 years since that experience. And I think that, you know, I know that it's hard right now for a lot of people, and I definitely have a lot of sympathy for a lot of people in terms of, you know, like I can't even imagine what some people are really going through and struggling with, but like United Movement have done, just shedding a little bit of light and trying to focus on things that not only we can control, but also memories that we, you know, that brought a lot of fun and joy and happiness into our lives. I think that's something really nice and something to look forward to, you know, for when all this is over and we can really kind of get back into our lives. And I think that, you know, we're going to be able to, we're not going to be taking we're not going to be taking things for granted. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I finally got that out there.
No, and it's perfectly true. Man, for someone who trains like a lot less than you guys, you know, I've rearranged my empty garage 7 times, and you know, I've also gone through like every photo album, like even physical photos, and like reorganized stuff. You know, it's like there's a lot of time in the day. Unfortunately, there's only a couple more minutes that I have with you guys, and one thing that I'd really love to hear you both speak about, and Matt, I will start with you, is the Rogue Invitational has been moved online. So we're in a world of like so many firsts that are happening. But what excites you about that? Like how, you know, obviously United in Movement was like an online, everyone participate. This is an actual competition with real prize money, and it's the actual invitational. So I don't know, what excites you, or it could even be like what kind of questions you have about it.
Yeah, I mean, so I think this will be a door of, you know, opening up to that silver lining of, you know, this is running a competition like that online is a very daunting task. I mean, once you actually start breaking down the complexity of it, you know, doing an online competition is one thing, but now when you're putting big money on it and, you know, it's it means something. It's bragging rights. It's a good test for the athletes going into the game. It is an incredibly daunting task. And I'm not surprised that Rogue is the first one to step up to take it on. It's just Rogue doing Rogue things. So I'm excited for the fact that if this ends up being the push for the reason to do it for the first time, it's going to open up the doors to just way more opportunities like this. If people were running online competitions and like it was getting good views and sponsors want to be involved, it's an incredible opportunity for the athletes. It's an awesome opportunity for any sponsors that want to get involved, and if it's something that people want to watch, it's entertaining. If you're passionate about the sport, you want to see more competitions, and right now it's they're so few and far between considering. So I'm excited for that door to open, and it might open up like a whole new chapter to like competitive CrossFit.
Yeah, I love that. And T, you can either pivot off of that, or I would love to hear like the pragmatic part of, can you go as hard like in your garage with a webcam on you as you could? Well, I guess you got this dude to compete next to, so you guys could always go side by side and probably push each other. But I don't know, when you picture in your head, like what will that be like?
Yeah, knowing that you're going to have to put your score up on a leaderboard and you're versing everyone that's going to be competing immediately, it gives you that extra little bit of energy to just push that bit harder. And Matt's made some really great points there. It's definitely going to, I guess, open up other opportunities, and that's something that we're really looking forward to. And yeah, like I have full confidence that Rogue is going to be putting out, like, they're not just putting out an online competition. They're going to be putting something that's never been done before, and it's going to definitely be in a league of its own. But I definitely feel a little like, of course, I would prefer for it to be back in Ohio, actually at the Rogue headquarters, because last year that competition was unreal and the atmosphere was unbelievable. And so there is definitely going to be a little bit of sadness not being able to compete there, but I definitely am looking forward to, at least it's something that we're able to train for right now. It's something, everything else is up in the air and you're not too sure what's going on. We're still waiting to hear about the games. And yeah, I think it's great that we at least have something, whether it's online or not, to train for and to stay focused and motivated for.
Yeah, I love it. And, a lot of, like you said, a lot of questions about what will happen in the competitive space, but at least for this small kind of snapshot of time, I know that, I'm just looking at comments of here, people loving on you guys. It's been a real boost for a lot of people to have you guys involved and to have even just conversations like this, brightens a lot of people's days. So thank you guys so much for making the time.
Yeah,
thank you.
All
right, friends, we'll talk to you soon, and I'm going to kick you out.
All right. Have a good one,
bye,
bro.
guys.
Bye. All right. At this point, my friends, I'm actually going to get some help. I'm bringing in Niki Brazier because we got some other business to get to. And man, two champs, gosh, so many question marks on the competition season with two people that are looking to make history. Hey, Niki. And but what a pleasure for all of us to get the daughters, then get the champs. Hey, girl, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. How's it going?
Thank you for joining us so much.
Of course.
Man, first and foremost, happy to see you as always.
Likewise.
Look at these. I don't know if you're looking at the comments, man. We've got UK, we've got Northern Ireland, North Carolina, Italy. We've got people from all over the place who did a bunch of these workouts, who have been super involved in the United in movement. And I know you've been having a lot of fun with it as well. So how was it mean to you to be a part of it?
It's just been such sort of like a like a light in a dark place, you know, because it's been tough. It's been tough for everyone to adjust to being at home, not being with our communities, even just, you know, in general, kind of being scared because the world is a freaky place right now. But it has been like a real joy and a real like light to be able to unite together, to be able to do this and, you know, sweat together. You feel like you're part of your community again. You know, your friends are doing it, and man, the workouts are killer. Who do I have to be pissed off at for
Shane
all those
Moore's one of them.
thrusters?
We just
That's
talked
what I
about
want.
him. Yep. And
Yikes.
Ben Bergeron had a hand in that too. So
yikes.
Yeah, there's been all sorts of like new and exciting ways to demolish yourself, haven't there?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't find out, you know, you kind of don't need all the fancy equipment all the time in order to keep fit and keep moving. So that's been a real like, you know, eye opener.
Yeah, well, and so it's been about the workouts. It's been about the athletes who we've talked to a couple of. There's also been some amazing brands who have come on board, and I know you're about to speak with one of them now. I'm actually going to step out of the room, let you take the helm.
Great.
And we're going to bring in Sam from WIT. So here I go, and here you go.
Hey, Sam, how's it going? Says Sam is connecting to audio. Hey, how's it going, Sam?
Hi guys, how are you?
Great. How's everything going for you over at WIT?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah, thanks so much for being a part of this with all of us. There have been a lot of brands who have been stepping up and helping out with United in Movement, who've been really showing their support and their space in the community. And WIT is absolutely at the forefront of all of that. You guys have been running a sick auction last few days, and it's actually being extended now. But for the people who maybe haven't heard of it or don't know much about it, can you give us some background on the auction that you guys have been doing?
So basically when we kind of started and we're speaking to Keith and Dylan about how we could get involved, we just, you know, we had a FaceTime and it was funny because Matt had a load of cool stuff behind him. I think there was a pair of Matt Fraser's shoes, and I think Dylan had some t-shirts, and, you know, and we were just talking like, you know, just generally about what we could do and how we could support, you know, United Movement and do something different. And it kind of just snowballed from there, basically, from Matt and Dylan having some amazing stuff in their office to then Matt going to his house and looking for more stuff, and then the athletes also kind of being involved and donating, and it just snowballed into something pretty unique, and, you know, it's been a huge success. So yeah.
Yes, you guys have everything from gear to signed memorabilia to, you know, athletes stepping in and giving some of their stuff. I mean, what kind of things have you guys been able to rope into this auction?
Oh, we've got everything. You know, we've got everything from Matt Fraser's leader jersey from 2015. We've got Sarah's Matt from the games. We've got Matt Fraser's shoes. We've got Tia's lifters. You know, it's this. You know, it's pretty incredible. It would be an amazing CrossFit kind of memorabilia museum if we put it all together. And I was saying to Keith that he should put all his stuff that he's got in his garage together, and he should open something similar to that.
Yeah, seriously. And now all these participants have the opportunity to own these pieces of epic CrossFit memorabilia. So explain a little bit about how the auction is working and how your sort of money raising efforts have been going.
So it runs pretty similar to, you know, any other auction. You just obviously bid, and we've been running it since the start of United Movement. And we're running it till 8 p.m. tomorrow. We decided to extend it a little bit, you know, and give everyone an opportunity to be involved. And that's kind of it, really. It's just kind of, as I say, it's been amazing from, you know, a kind of a fundraising perspective to see, you know, everyone really kind of get after it. And we've raised over $25,000 so far.
Whoa.
So yeah, and I'm sure there's more to be raised as well.
Sam, Rory and I were just talking about how we had so many international viewers on the live feed right now. And where are you coming from right now?
I'm in London.
So, I mean, what has it been like for you to participate in such a global movement?
It's been amazing. Like, it's obviously such a strange time. But I think I was just listening to Annie and Katrin earlier, and they put it perfectly. You know, it's, you know, we're definitely all one. And, you know, in a way, the one thing that's going to come from all of this is just, you know, we will be closer together and we will be stronger. But yeah, it's definitely been strange, but again, we're pretty fortunate, I guess, in the CrossFit community that, it's such a global sport. And you really do get kind of exposed to so many different people and so many different kind of cultures within CrossFit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We are really fortunate for that. And again, being involved in something like this shows that.
That's so cool. I mean, if you could choose, and I know that everything's up for auction, so it's fair game if anyone wants anything, but if you could choose to keep one of those items, which one would it be and why, do you think?
Good question. I think probably Tia's lifters.
Ooh, Tia's lifters. Okay.
Yeah. So Tia's lifters from the 2019 games. I think I was lucky enough to be there, and that was just something epic, I think it was epic from the men's and the women's. And then again, just to be able to own the shoes from the actual kind of, workout is something special.
That would be wild. So if people want to get involved, what is the best way for them to still be able to participate in the auction? And you said closes tomorrow night, correct?
Yeah, tomorrow at 8 p.m. You just jump onto our website, which is wit-fitness.com. And there's a US and a European auction. So you can, there's different items in different territories, but there's plenty of stuff on there on both. There's lots to get after.
So cool. Thank you so much, Sam, for hopping on and explaining all of that for us. And thanks again to Wit for putting all of this together. You guys have the chance to own some crazy pieces of CrossFit memorabilia. And what an opportunity to sort of come together at a time where, like you said, it's been a little weird, it's been a little hectic, but now we can really show our support, especially from, those top game athletes in the community. So thanks again, Sam, for coming on.
Right.
I think Rory is going to come back. And we're going to swap this over again. Technology. I love how connected we all are in this. This is amazing.
Yes, my friend. Yes,
amazing.
Indeed. Hey, what a great answer. Tia's lifters. Agreed.
Yeah. I couldn't think of anything better. I mean, her performance in 2019 at the games alone, I mean, granted, she's always pulling away from the pack like that, so it wasn't anything that we weren't expecting, but I mean, the drama of the top 10 and that spotlight lifting event, I totally agree.
And it's funny, like, I think for you and I, like, been around for a minute, so there's some things I could think of from like past, but like in recent history, like that's a pretty dang good one.
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pivot, and we've got a couple of, they're affiliate owners, but they're also event organizers. So Roger Nillson from the Norwegian CrossFit Championship. I don't see Darina Dunne in the waiting room just yet, but we'll bring Roger in, just kind of talk about their participation, because they've been huge in this.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you went to Norway.
Yes, it was one of the last events, I think, that we were able to hold before all of the coronavirus sort of took hold. So yeah, it was awesome.
So stick around if you want.
Yeah.
I'd love to have you
Totally.
in the group. So here comes Roger. And it looks like, you know what? I'm going to bring in Jamie Lawler. Hey, Roger.
Hi, guys.
Hey, friend.
Good to see you, buddy. And you know what? Darina's going to join us too. So let me go ahead and bring her in. It looks late in the day there, my friend. What time is it? Well, you got a clock behind you.
It's 1 in the night. So yeah. But I'm happy. I'm up.
You're up and happy, and we're happy to have you. Darina, welcome.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Darina.
Hi, darling. How are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
This is the best part. I mean, I know it sucks being inside constantly, but the best part was when you get to see all your friends on FaceTime and you're like, I missed you guys. I haven't seen you in so long.
And I have been stalking your doggy pictures, so you're okay, Nicole. I'm completely up to date. What's happening?
Fantastic. The most important thing out there, obviously, right now is my dogs.
You look like a real gamer there, Darina.
Yes, I do actually play computer games quite a lot.
Do you really? Oh, that's fantastic to know. I'm actually, I battled with kind of screen time with the kids, but now me and my son are going to actually like do the gaming thing and try and make a video out of it. So this should be fun too. But that's not why we're here.
Okay.
Why we're
I was about to tell you a very funny story about my mum being absolutely kick-ass at Tetris. She's 77 and she could take anyone on. She is just yeah. We'll move on from it in 2 minutes, but
I've got so many questions though.
Maybe 25, 30 years ago, I got a Sinclair 128K, which was the first type of computer to come out. And there was this game called Oh Punchy on it. And I'd come home from lunch from my school. And as I walked down the path, I could hear, she played it constantly. And since that, she is just, so yeah, if anyone wants to take my mother on in Tetris, she's game.
Nope, no way.
Man, and Tetris is one of those ones where like, you know, the new games, sure, they're flashy, they're fancy, and it's fun to see like all the kind of cool stuff they could do. But the simplicity and the difficulty difficulty of Tetris was like, it said a lot about a person.
I'll let you get back to it, Roar. Sorry.
I'm with you. Okay, yeah. So let's. The reason you guys are here is because not only did you guys show support for United in Movement, you came on in a massive way, and I would like to say that really motivated your entire population of CrossFit in your country to take part as well. So I would love to hear your why first, and then we'll dig in a little bit to what participation looked like. So Darina first, and then Roger. I'd love to hear. For people who maybe didn't see our 24-hour show or don't know, why did you choose to throw your weight behind this movement?
Well, it was a very easy ask. When someone as prestigious as Live and Loud come to you and say, we want to put on the Live Aid of Fitness, and you think that you can contribute to that in some way, it's something that you couldn't say no to. And I knew the people behind it could pull it off. And we had an opportunity as a community to do something very good. And to be able to say I'm part of that is something I'm very proud of. If someone had said to me 4 weeks ago, because this whole thing started 3 weeks ago, that we'd be sitting here today after doing a 24-hour YouTube-a-thon, that countries all over the world will be participating together in a new movement, a new brand, for want of a better word, that we'd have raised over 200,000 and that 14,000 people would have done the workout, I would have said no way. But to see it come together is just incredible. To play a very small part in that is an honor for me, and I get to talk about Ireland, and you know how much I love to do that, Rory.
I love to hear people talk about Ireland, especially with an Irish accent.
You're one of us, Rory.
I am. All right, Roger. Same question. Why was it so important for you to take part in this?
When I got the text message from Matt, hey buddy, I want to do something big. I was like, let's do something. And he told me about this idea. But the first thing was, he told me, hey, Roger, do you remember the first time when you went inside a CrossFit box? Do you remember the first time you met the coach, you met the community, you met that group of same people, like CrossFitters? And you get that positive virus, the CrossFit virus. And those people are hurting right now. We need to help them. So that's what's like, I'm here. What can I do? And so we had a good call and good conference on Zoom and all other places. And he told me his idea, and it was like, I'm a little bit crazy, but hey, you are crazy. But we have done some crazy stuff, our competitions all over the world. So if anyone can do it, it's CrossFit people. And we are prepared for the unknown from many, many years back. So this is what we train for. So, and we did it.
Yeah.
So that's so amazing.
Roger, you are no stranger to organizing competitions. You had just wrapped up the Norwegian CrossFit Championship, and then you wrapped up the Living Room Throwdown, where you hosted your own sort of online championship throughout the world that started in Norway. So how did you then rally everyone around you again for this United in Movement online competition?
I did a Living Room Throwdown. It's an online competition, and I had thought about how to do anything by fundraising, but all those 8,000 people doing the living room, they were like, hey, we don't want to stop. We want to continue. Please continue. I was like, we are continuing with United in Movement. And everybody like, all right, let's do it. So it's so easy. And we use the same platforms, Competition Corner, that is amazing. So a lot of people joined from Living Room to United, so it was really, really cool to see. And I saw actually CrossFit Nordfjord from Norway was the biggest affiliate in Living Room, and now they are third in United. Hey, Norway.
Wow. Yeah, that's worth bragging about.
Yeah, I think so. I love it. Yeah, it's cool.
Darina, I saw you guys all over the place with leading workouts online, and I would love to hear about how the island of Ireland stepped up for United in Movement. Like, how many people did we have participating, and what were the high points for you, the bright spots?
Yeah, there was so many highlights, to be honest with you. we've got a lot of games athletes in Ireland that have really come to the forefront in the last 2 to 3 years. And I reached out to 6 or 7 of them to say, listen, we want to do something special here. We want to make sure that as a community, we do the workout together at one time during the day. So I reached out to Emma McQuaid, Petey Savage, our national champ, Mikey Smith, our national champ from last year. And each day they hosted a workout. We all did it together, and we all had great fun, which was cool. The other highlight for me was there's a guy called Peter who runs a podcast in Ireland called Coffee Pods and What's. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. He has this innate ability to ask a question in a way that you end up becoming his best friend. I don't know how he manages to make people so relaxed, and you end up telling him things that you didn't intend to tell him. So definitely listen to his podcast. He's brilliant. But
it would happen more with like Guinness wads and pods, not with coffee.
I don't know. I think now there's something special in him, and he's the most unassuming guy. But anyway, back to your question. He organized to do a TikTok to support United in Movement, and he got the key players in Irish CrossFit to all come together and do a video, and it kind of started a viral movement after that. Norway did something similar, and it was really good to see everyone laugh and joke and have some positivity around what is a very difficult and negative time for a lot of people. And the other thing for me, like you mentioned there about the number of affiliates doing it, I'm not sure if someone will be on from Italy, so I'd love to highlight a gym called Western Union. I think they're a 3rd or 4th in terms of the league of affiliates. They come from a very, very hard-hit region in Italy where there's over 10,000 people affected. People are dying on a daily basis, and they gathered as a community, and they're one of the biggest affiliates involved with United in Movement. Now, if that doesn't show positivity, if that doesn't show leadership, I don't know what is. So well done to all of the guys there. I'm really proud of the Irish community, but I really want to give a shout out to Western Union. You were just awesome.
That's fantastic and a great story. I look forward to checking that one out. I got one more for you, and unfortunately, it feels like time is so quick here.
No.
But before this week started, there were so many questions, not just about how this would go down, but in the world in general. There still are, of course, but after having taken part in this, how is your outlook for the future? And we could make it as specific as affiliates in Ireland, or broaden the horizons of the question if you want to.
I'm feeling very positive. And I know that probably doesn't seem like a thing to say when we look at the number of people dying and the world and the situation that it's in. But I'm very lucky to be part of an incredibly strong community that is CrossFit. And doing CrossFit for the years leading up to this has put me and our community in a very strong position. We're fit, we're healthy, we have great immune systems. We will come over this and be stronger for it. So for me, it makes me more resolute to spread the word that is the greatness of the fitness program that we all do, because like the vast majority of people that do CrossFit will come out of this together stronger, probably doing more training than they were doing before. Being quarantined, you see so many people working on their weaknesses, doing things at home, coming together in Zoom classes. Like there's so many gyms in Ireland, and I'm sure around the world, that are organising table quizzes at the weekend that aren't just talking to their members about fitness, but they're talking to their members about a whole active lifestyle. And that's just wonderful to see. And to see the role reversal, to see the members of the gym look after the coaches, and because they recognize they're such an important part of their lives and an important part of their communities, it's mind-blowing, so this has been a very difficult time for a lot of people and will continue to be, but there's huge positives that are coming out of it. So for me, it makes me even prouder to be a CrossFitter, even prouder to be part of this community, and to really look forward to see what United in Movement can do next year. We have had an incredible start, but I think this is only the beginning of the potential fundraising potential of the global CrossFit community. So let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You're totally right. I mean, I just played Zoom trivia with my gym last night. Like, I don't think I would have ever done that on a Friday night, but it was so much fun. I mean, Roger, what have you seen? Have you seen sort of similar shifts in the thinking pattern in Norway?
The thing is, what I see the most positive thing about the whole United movement, everything that's happening, it's people are a little, the people that don't do CrossFit, they're a little bit afraid of CrossFit, doing abs everywhere, shirtless, bar muscle ups, snatch with too much kilos. But suddenly the whole Instagram show that CrossFit is training, normal training, not only those strange, difficult, crazy monkey business. We're doing normal burpees, sit-ups, everything, everyday home workouts. And what is happening is people is like, oh, this CrossFit. Yeah, this is CrossFit. I can do it. I want to join. I want to be a part of it. My parents called me today. My mother and father, she just had a surgery for breast cancer, and it's super good, so it's no worries. But she's starting to her training, and I want to do that. What are you doing? Because I can do it, but in my level. So what's happening is like we had a chance for 4, 5, 6 weeks to show that CrossFit is something that anyone in the world can do, and that is the beautiful part of this time of what we can show now. Not only those strange things. So as Katrin and Annie said before, if we can motivate one, change someone's life to the better, we have succeeded.
We've done our job. Yeah, mission successful.
We have beaten the virus negativity by just doing what CrossFit people do. We adapt and we stay positive and stay moving. So
that's awesome.
Boom, love.
I love it. And it's funny, like I'm looking at the comments here, and people are already asking, we're doing another competition. OCR and CrossFit said, yeah, I got my girlfriend addicted. She already signed up for her second competition now, which is fantastic.
Cool.
My legs, please, can we have a couple of days?
I know we need 5 minutes, 5-minute break.
But, and just so everyone knows, it's, it's obviously it's not too late to donate. You can only sign up for the competition until 8 p.m. Eastern to actually submit workouts, but you can continue to donate to the cause. To both of you for, I know it's probably a little bit of a crazy time to join on a Zoom call right now. So we thank you both for being here.
Thank you, guys.
But we gotta
Before
say bye.
we go, can I just say one thing?
Please.
We, like myself and Roger and the whole team, put in a huge amount of effort, but we really need to say a big thank you to Loud and Live. Dylan, I don't think he's slept in days. Matt, Ron, the whole team have been incredible. And I played a small part, Roger played it in equal part, but the whole team from Live and Loud have just, gone above and beyond. So thank you for allowing me to be part of it. You guys absolutely rocked it.
Amen that. Yep. Amen that. Thank you both so much just for the part you played and continue to play in the community. And we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.
See you guys. Thanks for everything. Happy Easter.
Oh, happy Easter.
You too.
Right. And it's you and me again, girl.
Hey.
So first of all, I don't know how you were with like FaceTime and all this kind of stuff prior, but it wasn't my jam.
No?
Like you've been so forced, I feel like, in this era, in a good way. Like people are getting so much more comfortable with like face-to-face technology, So
yeah,
and forgiving. So thanks to all the people in the comment section.
Yeah,
they're rolling with the kind of delayed audio or whatever the case may be. It's time again for me to get out of your way.
All right,
we got some more folks coming on. I'm gonna bring them in here just as soon as I disappear. So stand by, and I'll be back with you in just a few.
Yeah, thanks, Rel. We've got a couple more folks coming on from brands that have been huge support systems for everything that we've been doing here at United in Movement. Joe Barsi is coming on from California Giant Berries, as is Deb Graff from Move Fast, Lift Heavy. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
No, thank you so much for coming in. Joe, I can't hear you. You got to hit that audio button on the bottom left, but there you go. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on?
Technology.
I know. I tell you, it's but we have Zoom meetings 5 times a day, and of course, the time I get on here, it wasn't working. But hey, Murphy's Law.
I feel like Zoom is all I know now, but honestly, it's been at least one way to still feel connected to people and still feel like we're not necessarily always locked down alone. So thank you guys so much for hopping on. We've been talking a little bit about some of the support systems that we've had here at United in Movement. We just got off with some sanctional directors from overseas, from Europe, and you guys both have been involved in brands that have been helping out so much. So I'll start with you, Deb, as far as representing Move Fast, Live Heavy. You guys made a shirt to help support United in Movement, and all the net proceeds from that shirt are going toward our fundraising efforts. Can you tell me a little bit about why you decided to get involved and how that process went for you?
Honestly, from the start, it's been nothing but amazing. The people that we've met, Anna Maria, Sean, Jonathan, have been so cool and laid back, and we just wanted to jump in as soon as we heard about the organization and the mission, and we were just, Christian and I are just super thankful to be involved.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. And what has it felt like for you in terms of sort of, the craziness that the world is going through right now, and having this as a channel to sort of stay involved in something larger on a personal level and also for the organization?
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like us CrossFitters are meant for these pandemics. We're so close, and we love camaraderie and coming together that it almost feels like we're meant to do this. Like, we're meant to come together and create United in Movement and all be involved in it. So it's been nothing but positive vibes from the beginning, and we are just, we're moving along. And personally, I've never been busier.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, honestly, like I come home, obviously I'm home, but like, coming in the house from training, and, my kids have to do work, but I'm like, I got to do work. I'm super busy, and then, just time management, but it's been a crazy 3 weeks.
Well, so I'm glad to hear you say that, because sort of from the small business perspective, I mean, that's a lot of what we talk to affiliate owners about. But when you have a business in the space, in the CrossFit space as well, that relies on people, needing to leave their homes and live their daily lives, what has it been like trying to continue to manage Move Fast, Live Heavy, considering the way of the world these days?
Yeah, it's been difficult, but technology, we're super lucky to have it. And, we're on it constantly all day, the Zoom calls, and whatnot, creating and just trucking along. So it's been hard as a small business. We had to close our gym, for now, but we just find other avenues. The same thing, like we've never been closer with our community.
Yeah.
So.
Now, Joe, I'll ask you the same question, because I know that you're coming from California Giant Berries, which, if anyone saw the 24-hour broadcast and saw Sammy's Feeding the Frasers segment, she had some blueberries that you brought in that you provided for her. But I sort of ask you as well, from a small business perspective, and sort of just like trying to keep momentum and everything going in these times, what's it been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, we're an essential business because we're in agriculture, so we're fortunate that way. And we've been, any employees that want to stay home and work from home, we've encouraged them to do that, and we put some processes in place to enable them to do that. I've been pretty much working in the office every day, and like Deb says, it's been like a unique busy. It's been like a crazy busy because there's just an uncertainty in the air. But as it relates to how it's going and dealing with as a business, obviously we grow, pack, and ship fresh strawberries, and so our farm labor to our growers to the supply chain, the people shipping the berries at the cooler, to the retailers. Of course, we're fortunate. The only place you can go to is the grocery store, right? So gyms are closed, restaurants are closed. So immediately when this happened, we just kind of said, how can we? Cal Giant is a vertically integrated berry company, and our mission is to produce high quality berries and give back to our community. So immediately we thought about the people that were going to be impacted in our community that we live and play. And some of those are restaurants. So immediately we said, okay, whatever employees that want to work from the office, we're going to order takeout every day for those employees. It's getting a little expensive because now we're in 4 weeks of shelter in place.
Wow. but what a great idea to start just by helping support those local restaurants.
Definitely. And then the other thing that came out was gyms, right? So I'm a member of CrossFit Santa Cruz. But some of our growers go to other gyms and Paradigm Sport and Fitness on the west side of Santa Cruz. I just saw an Instagram post from them from one of their athletes that's a professional baseball player. And it kind of instilled a thought. I'm like, okay, we need to support gyms here.
Yeah.
We like to go work out. And then all of a sudden I saw this United in Movement thing come across my Instagram or whatever it was. And so I reached out to them, and I thought this was a perfect opportunity for our company because we produce healthy quality fruits and veg. And, we're into healthy lifestyles and fitness. And so it was just a perfect opportunity for us to support United in Movement.
Yeah, that's perfect. Now, Joe, are you in your garage right now?
I am.
It's a good setup you got back there.
Thank you. My family, this is round number 2, right? Because I was supposed to go on Wednesday night and they couldn't hear me. So, we err at the margins of our experience. So I have my backup plan. My daughter was in here getting me started. She's 23, my son's 20. They're all watching the living room. So I said, I'll take this outside in the garage. I could think in here. So thank you for the compliment on the setup. So.
Well, I was going to say, you got a great setup back there. So I'm sure that you have been involved, and I think I heard that you're getting other folks, especially in the company, involved too. Is that right?
That's correct. We try to take the social distancing picture, but we did work out 6 in my garage yesterday. There was two Cal Giant employees plus one of our strawberry growers, and we did a bunch of burpees and thrusters, and it was good. And so obviously we have to keep our distancing, but in the same sense, we're all working together. So we're like, hey, what the heck? Let's meet at my house at 3:00. And somebody came with the White Claws afterwards, and we went up to the cul-de-sac, and we had a good evening. Let's put it that way.
So much of what we're doing right now is just figuring out how to make things work, right? Like figuring out how to continue living our lives and stay fit at home and keep your businesses up and running. So, I mean, it's awesome to hear about how you guys are continuing to make things work for yourselves while also being involved in this global movement. Thank you guys so much for coming on with us, and talking about exactly how you're doing that. Joe, I think that you are going to tell us a little bit more about a donation that you guys have been able to pull together. Is that right?
Yeah, no, we like I said, we believe in health and fitness. We've sponsored a cycling team in the past. We've the Tour de Fresh Foundation is a cycling event that's been going on for 7 years. It's industry people that work in the produce industry do a cycling event every year. That raised money to put salad. So we raised almost $1 million. So we really believe in that. And so meeting with the owners this past week and telling them what we were doing and the timing of the event. So we're going to donate $10,000 to United in Movement for the cause. So we appreciate the opportunity to do that. We appreciate the opportunity to give back. We really like what John and your team and Matt, everybody's put together in a short period of time. So
Joe, thank you so much. And thank you so much to California Giant Berries. You guys all together have pulled that together for United in Movement. That is an incredible donation on top of everything that everyone has already been helping out with. That's also a reminder to everyone who's watching that there's still time to donate on a personal level as well. And before we head out, Deb, if people are interested in getting these United in Movement specific custom Move Fast Lift Heavy t-shirts, what can they do?
They can go to our website, mflhgear.com, and it's right there on the front page. And they're awesome. And I hope, you get a chance to go on and purchase one.
Guys, thank you so much for both of your contributions and your organizations getting behind us, and also for hopping on with us today on the live stream.
Thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thank you, Niki.
Bye, guys.
Appreciate it.
Bye. Bye.
I'll tell you what, I like some berries. I like some people who get behind something as strong as that. And I like a man who says that he can enjoy a White Claw after a workout as well.
I mean, and I like hearing that we've got 10K coming in donations. That is wild.
It's huge. It's
so
huge.
Cool.
It's not why they did it, Niki. You know this, but some people won some stuff.
Ooh.
And I think that you got them in your text message. I'm going to start because I'm going to talk about the cool ones, but we can't mention all of them. There's dozens here, but the first one that I'm going to announce, and if you're watching and you were signed up for the competition, you were enrolled automatically. This is a free spot to the Power Monkey Camp for the fall of 2020.
Jealous.
I know. And that's in my neck of the woods, actually. Jeff Koski from Chemical City CrossFit. If you're watching, or if your friends are watching, they should tell you that you won. And then 10 folks in the US won a free account to the Monkey Method app, which is a kind of a skill-specific training plan app. And I'll just buzz through them. Ethan Cravetti, Megan Daly, Missing Link CrossFit, Noah Ferguson from Webfoot CrossFit. Those are all domestic. And the non-US folks, Daisy Self from CrossFit X, Jessica Richardson from CrossFit Cumbria, and I'm just naming a few. So there are 10 of those. You guys look to be notified soon if you won, but lots of cool prizes.
I know. And I'm looking now that there's a whole list of people who won a year of access to the RP Fitness Training app, which I'm super jealous of because I pay for that app every month. It's now been 4 weeks of RP in quarantine. So my husband's in the fridge snacking every 5 minutes and feeling like he's been snacking every 5 minutes, and I've been good. I've been on the app, regimented. But so there's a ton of people, 5 people in the US and 5 people from overseas as well who have won. So again, won't name all the names, but we've got Morgan Pope here, Trevor Svensson, Andrea Gomez, Josh Gunn from out of the US, Lauren Walters, and we're going to get in touch with you guys soon. But that's awesome. Congratulations for all you have to do is register and participate. And then you get cool stuff. That's awesome.
So more brands just giving back. And the final prize packages come from GoWad. And this is, they gave away 10 mobility packages. So a year of premium on the app, some mobility tools, yoga mats, and lots of cool swag. So if you live in the US and your name is Will Hall, Evelyn Hansen, Virginia Ewan from CrossFit Davidson, Shelba Durham from Bio CrossFit, Dawn Roloffs from CrossFit Northwest, and those are our domestic winners. And then again, this isn't everybody, but in the outside the US, Sue Quirk from CrossFit Leland, Brad Galera from CrossFit Select. Those are just amongst our viewers. But because I like to talk so much, we're a little bit behind schedule. So
it happens.
The sad part is that I have to say goodbye, but I'm so glad that you got to join us. And
I know this was
immensely.
So fun. Thank you guys for having me again, and congrats to everyone who won, and thanks everyone for donating. This has been so huge, so great.
Maybe we'll twist everyone's arm to keep doing some United in Movement like part 2.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, sister, we'll see you soon. And for you folks at home, we are going to watch a little bit of video content, and we'll be back with you shortly.
Hola amigos, somos Pedro y Ale de Ducaf y estamos apoyando desde México. Como Ducaf decidimos unirnos a United in Movement porque estamos muy agradecidos con la comunidad y es nuestra forma de demostrar este agradecimiento. Han hecho tanto por nosotros personalmente y laboralmente y nos han hecho mejores personas y mejores atletas.
Creemos que United in Movement es una gran forma de recordarle a toda la comunidad que sin importar la situación y la distancia, nos mantenemos unidos. Juntos saldremos de esta contingencia más fuertes que antes.
La forma en que United Movement permite a cada persona apoyar de la manera que pueda, ya sea donando, comprando o haciendo simplemente los workouts al nivel que pueda como atleta, demuestra y captura la esencia que tenemos como comunidad y cómo podemos simplemente avanzar unidos en movimiento.
Muchas gracias por apoyar y cuentan con nosotros.
I know I was trying to contain my excitement of, oh my God, I've watched this guy on TV for years now. And, we were both playing it cool. And then at the end of the conversation, it was just like, hey man, great to meet you. All right, stay in touch. And then we both started walking away. And then I was like, can I get a picture? And Max was like, oh, thank God. Yeah, I want one too. But neither of us wanted to break that barrier.
You see, in most workouts, there's these 3 core qualities. What's the volume that we're doing? What is the intensity that we're doing? But then also it's the quality of the recovery. And people don't realize the value of the recovery or the importance of it. We all track our volume. We all track our loads that we lift, the speeds that we row at, the speeds that we run at, but we don't monitor our recovery.
It's better than sunshine. It's better than moonshine. You're damn sure it's better than rain. Yeah, now people don't mind. We all feel this way sometimes. But you gotta let your soul shine. Shine till the break of day.
We're back in the garage, my friends. If you're just joining us, Rory McKernan here. We're wrapping up United in Movement. We're a little bit behind, so we're entering the speed rounds here. I'm about to be joined by a very, very fit individual, two very fit individuals, but one who was just the runner-up at the CrossFit Games last year. I'm being joined by Noah Ohlsen now and Guido Trinidad. And these guys coming to me from the sunny South. So I see that we got Guido in the house. Got to join that the audio, and I see a lot of questions from you guys in the comments section here. So excited to get these guys on the hook for some answers. Guido, you with me, buddy?
I am, my friend. See if I can get this camera started here.
Yeah, we got to see your pretty face. Come on.
It was sweaty a little bit ago. Let's see.
Were you sweaty from United in Movement stuffs, or were you sweaty just from regular?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. It says you can't start your video because the host has stopped it. So where are you at?
Hey, what kind of a host stops your video? You know what I mean?
They're letting me in. It's like I'm ringing the doorbell. They're like, yeah, we'll let you in.
What kind of a host stops your video? Of course, I'm the host, but how you doing, buddy?
There we go. What's going on? So good to see you.
Yeah, you too. You too. Do I understand that you're with Noah Ohlsen, or you guys are just
I'm not with him here in the physical realm, nor am I in the same.
Or are you anywhere near him?
Yeah, no. I think he's coming in soon, though.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, listen, man, I recently was in Miami. I got to see the beautiful facility that you operate, and we're in strange times right now. So I just kind of really love to hear how you've been weathering this storm and helping people. Obviously, you're in charge of your community, but how you've been kind of helping them and yourself through this.
Yeah, great. First of all, I want to thank you for having me here, and it was great to see you while you were down, even though it was a little shorter than I would have liked. But yeah, so I'm glad you got to visit. So to answer your question, it's been 3 weeks now almost since we've all been
where you live, I guess, right?
Yeah,
at least 3 weeks.
It feels like longer, but yeah. So I have a pretty nice sized family here at home, and we're not too far from the box. So I've been personally, first things first, trying to be present here for my family and for my wife, which, doing the at-home school thing isn't the easiest thing. She's like part-time, I want to say part-time, full-time chef, full-time teacher / principal, house cleaning, the whole nine. So, just being here, supporting her as best as possible is part of the role. And then with regards to the community at Peak, really, it's been just more than anything, I would say, is trying to maintain their mindset in a positive state, right? And showing them support and love in any way possible. Everybody's we're all experiencing this in a similar way, but very different as well, right? Where some people are with families and some people are maybe alone by themselves. Some people are very disciplined and can work out without any necessity for, a Zoom class, and some are very much thriving off of that. So it's trying to meet people where they're at and really trying to get creative, not to do too much, but being very intentional in serving and adding value to their experience and just being there for them during these times.
Yeah, no, I love it. And actually going to bring in two other characters here to spend some time with us. Chase Ingraham, who also runs a fantastic facility in the Republic of Texas down there in the South. Oh, turn that phone. There you go. There he is.
Oh, there it is.
How are you, sir?
Oh, great. Guido, what's up, bro?
Look at that beard, man. I'm jealous.
Says
going like
Rona beard.
4 months strong right here.
That Rona beard I got going on.
It's beautiful. Good to see you.
You too, man.
Outside of your gorgeous beard, we invited you also because you are a community leader, but an owner of a facility, with a very large CrossFit community. I saw when you had to shut your doors and kind of how you dealt with that. I was just asking Guido how he was dealing with that and walking his community through it. And he was talking about the kind of the mental aspect of that, but I would love to hear you speak to that. Like how is your community responding to what's going on?
So when we first closed, we closed early. We closed before it was mandated. We closed before it even became a whisper of that's something we should do. And that was a personal choice for my members' health and safety, which is kind of my job to begin with. and as well as the community around us. I just saw kind of a storm coming quickly, and we wanted to be on the front part of that as opposed to the backside, right, where we're being more reactive than proactive. It was very terrifying to do, to shut your doors off that you work so hard to keep open from the people that you love. But the response initially was great. It still is great. I think what you guys are probably talking about, the mental side, is that's the hardest thing you're going to have to like deal with your community and kind of string them along. Is like, we can all work out. They're all fit. They know what they're doing. It helps to have a guiding hand in that part in terms of programming and coaching. But the mental aspect is, I think, often overlooked in terms of being isolated on your own, not having that constant engagement and interaction with other people. And then understanding is that you actually have to shift your priorities a little bit when it comes to what your fitness is centered around, right? And I feel like this is actually, it's been a really cool revelation to see over the last week in terms of what we saw from a lot of our games athletes in that 24-hour challenge was they all talked about getting back to intensity and feeling better because the volume's not breaking them down, and feeling better mentally and sleeping better, and their stress is lower. And it's like, yeah, that's the whole point, right? That's why this all started to begin with. Yes. It was loving fitness for what fitness was, and that was to take care of our mind, body, and in turn taking care of our spirit in a way. And I feel like shifting that mentality is more recentering the purpose of that, right? Fitness is made to enrich our lives in terms of health and fitness. It's not to define it. And I feel like if there's one positive to come out of this, might be a recentering of the importance of fitness in terms of our everyday life, and not being all about what our life is centered around. So shifting that mentality for your athletes is what we're trying to do now, because it's been so long and they're getting a little stir crazy, a little frustrated. And I think once you do that, that'll help them in the long run.
I love to hear that. And actually, while we're at it, why don't we bring in a tremendously fit athlete and get his take on that? I apologize for the waterfall.
What is he saying, that we're not tremendously fit athletes?
I was like, I'm already here, bro.
Are you insinuating here?
No, yes, that's
we
what
were, maybe.
Hold on, here comes Noah Ohlsen.
Oh, that'll work.
Noah, what's
hip
up?
Hip hooray!
Hip hip hooray! Hip hip, turn that phone sideways or do something.
Like which
that's
there
you go. There you go.
Technology.
We're good.
Yes, sir. We're great, buddy. How are you doing? We were just in the middle of a conversation. I got Chase Ingraham. I got Guido Trinidad here.
Two of my better friends.
How these guys were taking care of their community in these times, and Chase was pointing out that maybe some people had rethought how they were training, and we were speaking kind of to games caliber athletes like yourself. And there's a lot of questions in the comments section about asking specifically, has Noah changed the way he's training in terms of volume or how he's attacking things? So I'd love to hear you kind of jump right into the deep end and speak to that.
For sure. I would be honored to. I tried to pivot and adapt to this situation as quickly as possible. I think Monday, March 16th was my last day at Peak 360. And I know that so specifically because Guido and I were just wrapping up doing some of the Masters qualifiers workouts together. And we had finished doing one of them, and all this had started to kind of unfold. And a friend of mine had actually offered me a rig setup for my house a few weeks prior. And I had turned him down because I said I prefer training at Peak. I like the gym environment. And then when all this started happening, I called him and I said, hey, does that offer still stand? And so pretty much the first day of quarantine, I went and picked up this rig, had Guido's brother Andre come over to my house, help me install it. And I borrowed a couple pieces of equipment from Peak that I didn't have, and I created my own little mini home gym. So I always feel guilty saying that because I know not everyone out there has the opportunity to do that. But I did what I could in the amount of time that we had. And so I pretty much have a full gym here. What was that?
So we're not mad at you. Go ahead.
Okay. Phew. Thank you. I pretty much have a full gym here. The only thing I don't have are like high hanging rings and ropes. So my muscle ups are probably going to suffer, but those are decent. So hopefully I still have them when this is all over. And I've been following Training Think Tank's design program. My coach, Max El-Haj, created an app, and basically he's got a group of people on there training, and that's actually been really cool. It happened at the perfect time because now there's a leaderboard and a discussion board, and I can go on there. Max will supplement the training that everybody else is doing with a couple extra pieces for me, and I get to kind of train and hang out and chit chat with a bunch of guys and gals that are doing some of the same stuff with whatever they have at home.
So would you say that, so you love that aspect of training at the gym, you love training with your friends. Have you shifted that at all? I was talking to Katrin and Annie earlier, and it was interesting. They were, Katrin was like, yeah, I'll train a lot more at home from here on out. I mean, of course I still need that push, but
right.
Has it shifted?
Yeah, it has been a really interesting transition. I'm sure Guido can validate that. I love being at peak and being social and interacting with people. Like, I thrive on all that. And believe it or not, I've really started to enjoy this home environment too. And so I don't know if I just adapt and put myself in the best mindset that I can in whatever situation that I'm in. And that's why I liked peak when I was there, and I like home when I'm here. But I honestly have been enjoying this. It's cool to step out my front door and be in the gym, and when I'm done, to walk right inside and cool off and hang out. So I don't know. I'll always love peak, and I'll always go back there, but I definitely have been enjoying this kind of unique, novel aspect of training at home.
Yeah. And I'm gonna ask first Guido and then Chase the same question, which is, you've obviously got members now who you're doing whatever you were doing with them digitally, but they are being forced to train away from the gym. How are they kind of responding to it? And are you concerned, or do you think that, the gym is same as it is for Noah, where it's just so important to them that as soon as this is over, they're going to be flocking back? Or do you think that e-training is a new normal?
Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously, a lot of people are looking at this and saying, wow, we should have been doing this all along, and there's a market for this, and we're going to pivot and make this something more long-term. Whereas that's a possibility, but I think that everybody values their training differently. Some people really want to get to a box and just simply can't, and it's just so difficult. We've had some of our members specifically that just don't make it to the box as often as they'd like to. And when we started the virtual classes, they were like, wow, this is what I'm going to do from now on. Thank you so much. Whereas others, they really just can't get into it. Some have tried, they don't even want to, some don't even want to try it. And they're just like, send me workouts, I'll do them here on my own. But what I've seen is, what people really miss the most, because let's be honest, if you had space and equipment and you had the program, what are you essentially then missing? You're missing coaching and some good feedback and guidance, which you can probably get virtually here, right? Like, I can demo you, and I actually feel I've been teaching quite a few virtual classes. I can coach almost better sometimes because I can see everyone at the same time. There's like nowhere to hide. But what the thing that I've noticed that people are coming in for the most is the community component. So kind of going back to your question or a comment earlier, Chase, was, after the workout, we would start chatting a little bit, and I try to engage them and leave the room open, so to speak, as if they were just at the gym, right? We're not kicking them out after they go. We want to have them stay for a little bit. And I would say almost 9 times out of 10 afterwards, they're always talking about how this is the reason why they're showing up, because they need some mental fitness, some mental sanity for them. Imagine you're stuck, even though you love the people who you live with, right? It's you're with them all day, and it's nice to get a break from them and see other people and express yourself in a way that maybe you couldn't with them. So I think that community component is really what's keeping our community thriving. And although we don't have 100% participation there, I know it's a good core of people that it's making a really big difference for.
Chase, same gist. They came for the fitness and they stayed for the community, or CrossFit Big D is over and we're all going to go online from here on out? That's the dramatic way to put it.
Nothing. I feel like our membership is ready to get like pitchforks and torches and just like break the doors open down of our affiliate. People are begging for these shelter in places to get lifted, these quarantines to get lifted, to get back, because nothing's going to replace the real thing, right? It's like, we can all sit here and talk as four, but I'd much rather be sharing a beer with you guys at a dinner table. Nothing's going to replace that that face-to-face interaction. That's, when you talk about the community, that's the thing that binds everybody together and brings them back. What I do see happening, though, is kind of what Guido was talking about, is that, I've had a lot of people that have said, if I only lived 20 miles closer, I would be your number one gym member. It's like, well, maybe now that virtual aspect of being a part of the community in a certain way, whether it's in their home or apartment gym, something more of like maybe offering virtual times during your class time, whether you can have the eyes on that or another coach, that might be in addition to what your gym offers. But I'm going to go as far as like, nothing will replace the real thing. Nothing can replace that person-to-person community, because I remember in the old days, like 08, 09, where I would show up, I would do the 6 a.m. class. I would come back to the gym at 4 p.m., just sit and watch my friends work out and then hang out with them when they were done. Like that was the CrossFit gym when I started. It's not like that anymore, but it might be after this, because, what Guido's talking about is like, we'll have a Zoom class on like a Saturday, and we'll probably spend more time talking after the workout than we did working out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I think people are begging to have back. But I could definitely see this virtual classing being in addition to, not a replacement of what happens at the affiliate.
Yeah, interesting, and all great points. And Noah, we're going to have to wrap up with you. I'd love to get an athlete's perspective, because I've seen you've been tremendously active. Like, I've loved watching the ways you flex first your creativity, but also, you're actively coaching Zoom classes all over the place, not even just your own. You're working out with people on Instagram Live, and you're getting really creative with that. But does that have the potential for, is there any way, shape, or form that even compares to what you love about competing with someone like face-to-face?
In terms of doing virtual competition or continuing?
Yeah, and I guess I'm kind of going down the competition road, but
yeah. It's been fun. I've had a couple experiences like that. Like, every time I am going live with Chandler, Jacob Hepner, any of those guys that I've done that with so far, we've obviously competed a little bit. We kind of go into it knowing it's just for fun and we're there to hang out and interact with other people. But when it comes down to it and the clock starts, you don't want to be the guy that loses. So there's that element of competitiveness. It's kind of difficult though, because sometimes you don't know if there's a little bit of a lag on camera, if there's a technical difficulty, if your timers don't start at the exact same time. So I don't know, it's tricky, but it's the best that we can do for now until that improves. So I'll take that over nothing right now, for sure. If that's what you're implying, if there are going to be canceled competitions or virtual competitions, let's go virtual all day.
Love it. I can't wait to see the first one play out with Rogue. I'm really, really fired up to see that go down.
Me too. I'm excited.
Sadly, I have to say goodbye to you guys, but I want to thank you so much for, one, just your time tonight, but also I know you guys have been big supporters of United in Movement, and it makes a huge difference.
Thank you, Rogue.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
All right, gentlemen. We'll talk soon.
Thanks for doing what you guys are doing.
Look forward to there you go. Yeah. Look forward to an actual in-person high five, chest bump, whatever it may be. But until then, see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, my friends, as we continue to move, I'll remove Chase because he's not going to remove himself.
No, I don't want to leave.
Special guests all over the place, left and right. And the next two are no exception to that rule. In fact, a few fan favorites. They get after each other just as much, but they've also been a huge part of United Movement, and they've been doing all the workouts and competing through them. So Brent Fikowski and Pat Vellner are now joining me from the Great White North, our neighbors to the north, America's hat. There he is, Mr. Fikowski, Mr. Vellner.
What's up?
Welcome to the show. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Wow, look at you. You're in a closet or something?
No, my office. Almost basically a closet. There's a closet behind me.
Coming to you from my confined space. And
quarantine, baby.
I'm here. No doubt. So I got to watch you, but not actually talk to you during the 24-hour release. But since then, I feel like both of you have been tremendously active in this United in Movement, the competition that we've been doing. And Pat, I guess I'll start with you. And you were, even before the 24-hour broadcast started, we were texting back and forth, and I could just tell that you had a real real horse in the race about making this thing successful. And I just want to hear in your words why it's so important to you.
Well, I think for a couple of reasons. One being, obviously, my partner Michelle works in the healthcare field, and so I mean, she's dealing with this kind of in a front lines way, and so I get a lot of insight to what's going on around the world and what's going on locally, and so I think I understand it maybe more than the average person does. And then on the other side of that, my role in healthcare is much more conservative, but really is more about keeping people moving and keeping people active, and people lose the means to do that when you kind of stuff them in quarantine, right? So I think it's super important that people find ways to keep moving and stay happy, and even like the mental mental illness aspect of this whole thing is huge. I think there's a large potential for things like depression and with isolation, right? So I think that finding a way to get a lot of people excited about something again and give them something to cling on to is really important. I think there's enough negative stuff in the ethos surrounding this, and I think it's nice to find people who want to find the positive aspects of something and find ways to spread that around, because there's things we can all be doing, and I think that it's nice to find a way to reframe this for ourselves. There's an opportunity to work on certain things as opposed to keep focusing on the things that we're losing. So yeah, I've kind of seen both sides of it, and it's affected my work, and it obviously affects my partner. And so yeah, I think it's just, I'm kind of right there in it. Right.
Yeah. Well, and wild that, while you guys are on the front lines, and give her a hug for me when you get a chance. It does literally affect quite everybody. That's what really jumped out and grabbed me about the 24-hour broadcast was like, we're in China, we're in Australia, and everywhere, everybody's got a very similar experience, not professionally, but they're all being affected. So Brent, not in the healthcare, but you're certainly a community leader, someone that people really look up to. How have you felt some similar shifts in your kind of reality or your role, and what are those?
I mean, I've had a lot of people that I know personally reach out to me and ask for some fitness advice, that, their usual, whether they're CrossFitters or not, most of them are not CrossFitters, that go to a gym and they're asking like, hey, I don't really have any equipment, or I do have some equipment, or what equipment should I try to buy? And, a lot of equipment sold out right now. And so that's been something I've been noticing. I've got a lot of messages this last week about advice. So I've sort of started to accumulate a message I've been copy and pasting and adding things to with each person, a bunch of advice. And then this is sort of an outlet for that, push people here. And a lot of people that don't, usually participate in CrossFit have been getting involved in this United movement and having a good time messaging me about how hard the workouts were. So it's been fun.
Love it. And we need to set the record straight on something, because you guys made an attempt to do a live announcement, and it just went down the hole. Like,
I blew that. I blew it.
I
think we had some music on in the background, and then so I got chopped out of the live because of copyright stuff. So, and we didn't know because we couldn't see the screen until I went at the end of the workout to go look at it and do some Q&A with Brent, and we were kicked out of the live. So yeah, that was my bad.
That's what I told everyone, but actually Vellner was pulling away, so I just cut him right out.
That's perfect. You always have your music queued up, so you just hit the copyrighted music. If you're losing.
Like, oh no, I don't know what happened.
Dang you and your algorithms. This is crazy. But in all seriousness, like outside of the live announcements, have you guys, either with each other or with other athletes or training partners, whoever it may be, have you found a way that can even come close to an in-person training session where you can push each other through this new digital space?
I think that exists. For me personally, that's not really what I'm trying to do right now. So it's a little harder to find that competition gear, right? I mean, I did them all, and I tried to sort of look at it and then make some sort of a goal of like, all right, try to finish this many rounds is probably good. I've been doing this long enough. I can kind of figure out timing of certain movements, and I'll say, okay, I think that roughly this is like a goal. So try to stick to this pace, and then I'll just do it, and I'll try to stick to whatever my pace was. And at the end, I'll either feel like maybe I had more in the tank or maybe not. But that was mostly, it was to put a hard effort in, because I don't have a whole lot of training I can do right now either. So I'm trying to use them as a stimulus anyways, get some conditioning. But I'm not like putting myself in the ground like you might be in a competition, or like you would in the open, say, when you know you're competing for something specific. But they've been really good training tools, frankly, for me. And it's nice to have somebody else write something up for you and just show up and do it.
Well, I want to hear both of you guys build that out then, actually, because I guess that indicates maybe where your head is at for how long we're going to be away from actual in-person competitions. Maybe I won't put words in your mouth, but does you saying, "Oh, that's not really where I'm at right now," indicate you don't think you're going to have any reason to compete in the near future?
I mean, right now it's April 11th. And so the next competition that's slated is not an in-person competition, and it's not until June 13th. So that's still 2 months away. So, I mean, regardless, I think this is just a sort of forced off-season period for people where, you know, we've looked at it and we might try to just do some different kind of movement pattern work, or whatever else. Like, you just got to, maybe you can do an extra strength phase, like you can do other things. But I don't think it's important to be, you know, sharpening your spear right now. And I based on what's projected, I wouldn't put money on the fact that the games will run, at least not in live, on the dates that were originally slated. I think that it would not surprise me at all to see them either get moved or get, you know, put on a digital platform, or have some sort of contingency plan have to come into play. It just, like, it frankly wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm kind of, if they run, great, but if something else happens, it will not surprise me at all. I'm really, I think when it becomes a question of safety, and there's a lot of, you know, travel restrictions globally, and we've made an effort in the last year to globalize the sport a lot more. So I think that to think that everywhere will be at a point where they're allowing people to freely travel, and that that Wisconsin, Madison is going to be willing to host an event that amount of people, like of that magnitude. I think that there's a lot of things that need to go right for it to run the way it's slated now, and there's all you need is one of those things to kind of fall away, and then the whole thing kind of goes down the river. So frankly, I just wouldn't be surprised either way. So I'm trying to have, you know, high hopes and low expectations, and that way, whatever happens, I'm comfortable with.
Okay. And Brent, it could be as specific about that as the competition or not, but, like, I guess are you finding it hard to stay motivated? And second part of that question would be, are you operating on a be ready just in case type scenario, or have you let it go?
Yeah, the motivation has never changed. Just the sort of the end goal changes a little bit. So, you know, like Vellner hinted at the very beginning, there's an expression about, you know, sharpening the spear. And so depending on the time of the year, you're either making a larger blade or you're sharpening the blade. And you can do a lot of damage with a little blade that's very sharp. But what's even more dangerous is a really big blade that's really sharp and you know how to use it. So right now I'm just trying to build a broader blade, which would be, you know, longer conditioning pieces, steady state stuff, and strength, and then some sort of, you know, strict gymnastics work. So I'm not going dark, putting myself in the pain cave with a lot of brutal, you know, CrossFit triplets for 12 minutes and 7 minutes and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy like that right now, but I'm still putting a lot of work, and the motivation is there. And I know when the time comes for me to crank it up and sharpen the spear real quick, it'll be ready.
Yeah. I would love to, Pat, maybe people weren't watching in the 24 hours, and you only got to mention it really briefly, but we've touched on two things here that I'd love to hear you speak to. One is that you're in a relationship with someone in the healthcare profession who is usually taking care of you. And the other day, it was really interesting for me to hear you say how that role has kind of reversed. Can you dig into that a little bit more and sort of explain that?
Yeah. So my fiance, Michelle, she's a MD. She's a family doc resident in Nanaimo, where we live. So, I mean, a lot of the year, typically in the last few years, I mean, our holidays often coincide with competition travel, where we'll go to a competition and then we stay for a certain amount of time and have a vacation, or, you know, periods of the year. I'm pretty selfish with the way I spend my time. And it's just been an interesting shift in how, you know, right now we're effectively on hold, right? Like there's nothing really close on the horizon. Everyone's in a bit of a holding pattern, but her world is ramped up to 10, right? Like they're kind of in scramble mode and in a big preparation mode for what could happen soon. So the hospital's staff in general and everyone who's working in healthcare are really putting in overtime, right? So whereas sometimes periods of the year in a normal year, a lot of it is about my training and trying to maximize what I can do. And like I said, our holidays, like some things like that are just simply like we work around my schedule. Whereas right now we really work around her schedule. And so I'm at home with really not much else to do, some training, but I really am trying to just kind of make sure I can support her and keep her happy and healthy and make sure that she can do what she needs to do to help as many people as she can and stay healthy herself. So, I'm home trying to do more cleaning and cooking than I probably normally would. So at this point, I'm the support crew, right? Like she is for me so often. So it's kind of nice to be able to repay that. So unfortunately, I don't wish for very many more pandemics, but it is nice to have a way to kind of give that back to her.
You can wear this shoe for a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. I'm more than happy to, frankly.
Yeah. And thank you because, all the big shout out to all the people who are on the front lines. It's a crazy time for everyone, but for them especially.
For sure.
Sorry, this feels like speed dating, but I've only got another minute or two with you guys. So Brent,
that's fine.
I would love to just wrap up, and this doesn't have to be fitness related, doesn't have to have anything to do with competition unless you want it to, but we've all been, forced to change our habits or, things that we're doing. What do you think are the biggest handful or one or two takeaways that you will use from this experience and move forward with?
For me, I've taken a lot of extra time. My wife and I both have really been looking long and hard at how we spend our time and just what our goals are and what our plans are. It's a little tacky, but like Reebok has this thing, permission to pause, that they're kind of pushing right now. And we kind of took that to heart, and we really took a pause on everything, and we watched very little TV in the last little while, and we've just been reading a lot and just planning things out. We need to do that more often. We need to do that every 6 months and kind of take stock of where we are. And part of that's appreciation, and part of that is reinvigorating some goals we have. So it's a lot of it's personal stuff, but it's been really enlightening for us personally.
Good. Yeah, we'd actually be finding positive in it and using it for that. Pat, I'd ask you the same question before I let you go.
I think Brent makes a really good point, and I think that hopefully a lot of people are using it that way. I think it's really easy to get deep into the Netflix cave, but I think there is a lot of great ways you can spend your time. A lot of people picking up hobbies, and even my brother started learning to play piano again and things like that, right? Like learn a new language. Like you can do a lot of things with this kind of time, and because there are a lot of hours in the day, especially if you're not working, if you're a non-essential service worker, like there's tons of time to do things. So it's just like Brent says, setting a goal and stuff is find something you can do. I mean, personally, I've been trying to just reconnect with a lot of people. My life has been kind of frantic and go for a long time. And I've moved a lot of times with school. So I've kind of got pockets of people all over the country that I just don't stay in touch with like I would like. So I think this has been a good opportunity to kind of once or twice a day, I'll just have a call or a FaceTime or a Zoom and chat with people that I was once very close with and have kind of lost touch with. So I'm trying to reconnect with more people because for all the isolation and quarantining we're doing, we have at our fingertips so much technology to stay connected.
Right.
So there's really not much of an excuse. So when I have some extra time, I try to do that. Even when I'm, cleaning, cooking, I can just sort of throw headphones in and have a call with somebody.
I love it. I guess maybe you forgot my number, but I'll resend it. I'll text it here.
I'm sure I'm working down a big list.
Yeah, it's like a graduation. Hey man, always pleasant seeing you guys, even if it's only over the this digital format that we've got right now. I was hoping to see you guys, of course, at the Canada West thing.
Yeah.
It will be when it will be, but I'll see you guys soon. And on behalf of all the people, there's lots of people piping up in the comment section, giving you guys love. So on behalf of everyone, thank you guys so much for joining us and for being a part of the competition. We made big splash, man. I'll got the updated numbers here in a second, but
awesome.
Well into the $250,000 range.
Nice.
Cool. Well, thanks for having us on.
Thanks for having us.
We'll reconnect in person one day.
Can't wait.
One day.
One day. Bye.
See you guys.
All right, my friends, what a treat. Those were our last guests, in fact. And so with that, I have to say thank you so much. We're wrapping up the wrap-up show. And while the 7-day competition is over, our hope is that you guys are just getting started. We will continue to do more fundraising to the best of our abilities. Stay tuned for more details on that. But the goal really was to get everyone together, to connect everyone as a community, to get us moving and connected. And of course, to be here for the businesses that we want to be there for us once we come out of this COVID-19 crisis. And to that end, I have to tell you guys that including major contributions from Born Primitive, WIT, GoWad, Noble, California Giant Berries, and all the individual donations that all of you, thank you if you did give, we're at $238,159 and still climbing. So remember that you can still be a part of it. You can register for the competition, log the workouts up until 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. We believe we're going to be better and stronger after all of this. When it's said and done, we hope that this movement has inspired you guys. It's certainly inspired us. So stay tuned. We'll keep on rallying those donations. As I mentioned, we'll wrap it up later in the week and let you guys know where it was. But on behalf of the entire crew for United in Movement, we thank you all for being a part of it. And we look forward to connecting with you in new and creative ways and staying one community. Good night.
United Movement, forward together.
Songembele, Kwai Safari.
Forward, sempre insieme. Together.
United in Movement.
Forward and together.
Estamos juntos, vamos seguir em frente, isto tudo vai ser passageiro.
Forward.
Forward.
Forward. Forward. Together.
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 When we unite the movement, forward together.
Around the globe are isolated in our own homes, but we are not alone. We are stuck, but we are not stranded. We have each other. United in Movement sets out to motivate the world to move together. We want the world to participate, to get moving with your friends and family. We are separated physically, but we can move together in action. At United in Movement, we don't believe in letting our friends struggle alone. We want to come alongside those that need help. We want to show them that their community has their back. We are here for you, to get you moving and connected. We are here for the businesses that we want to be there for us when we emerge. Together, we believe we will be better and stronger when we unite in movement, forward together.